Well, good afternoon, ladies and gents, or morning, or evening, or whenever it is that you're listening to this. Today I'm going to show you how to use the random number generator tool in Excel. In our particular case, we're going to take a look at Canadian blood types. So what we know is that 46% of Canadians have type O blood, 42% type A, 9% type B, and 3% type AB. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at 5,000 fictitious Canadians and see if their blood types follow these patterns here. So the first thing that I do is I click on the Data tab and see if at the far right we have something called the Data Analysis ToolPak. If you don't, you go to the far left and click the Office button, select Excel Options, Add-ins, and then select the Analysis ToolPak, so it's highlighted in blue. Press Go at the bottom of the screen, and that brings up a little dialog box. You can now checkbox the Analysis ToolPak and press OK. Now you'll see at the far right of the Data tab, you'll see the Data Analysis Tools. Let's click on that. That brings up a dialog box with lots of neat statistical stuff, and we're going to choose the Random Number Generation tool. Here's the dialog box. The first thing that it asks us for is the number of variables and the number of random numbers. We're going to look at one column of numbers, and so that's going to be one variable of 5,000 Canadians. So let's put in 1 and then 5,000 for the number of random numbers. Now we choose our distribution. Let's look at a couple before we come back to the one that we're interested in. If I had chosen binomial distribution, you'll notice that the dialog box asks me now to input the parameters p and n. I can also put in some random number generation seed here, such as 22222 or something like that. If I had selected normal, then the parameters that I'm asked for are the mean and the standard deviation. In our particular case, I'm going to choose discrete distribution, and this might be different from what you're asked to do in an assignment, but this will serve well to show you how the random number generation tool works. I click in the box that says parameters, and I'm going to highlight these 8 cells over here, which are C4 to D7. Now, the reason why I don't select the OA, B, and AB is that Excel needs to generate numbers, not labels or letters. So that's why I've put in these codes 1 to 4. Last thing I do is I click the output range, click inside the box, and I'm going to select this cell right here, F4, where it says sample. Now you can actually select any blank column here, or you can even select a new page. This will serve us well. Let's press OK, and what that does is it generates 5,000 values. I'm just going to scroll down a bit here so you can see. It goes on and on and on for 5,000 values here. And so those are 5,000 Canadians that we've randomly generated. From this point, I can count up and see how many actual Canadians fall in each category. You could use a histogram for that, or you could create a pivot table. So let's create a pivot table. Insert, pivot table. Make sure that the column that says sample and the 5,000 values is highlighted, and then press OK. Actually, I'm going to put this on the same worksheet over here. So I'm just going to click down here and select some blank cell down here and press OK. Okay, that gives me a pivot table that looks like this. Now I can select the sample field, and I'm going to move that down so it becomes row labels. Make sure that sample is in where it says the sum of the values, and the last thing that I do is I change the sum of the sample to a count. And that tells me that I have 2260 A's, or O bloods, and 2090 A's, which is code 2, and so on like that. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to just move up here. Just going to paste it here so I can see it. And there you go. Now, I can put in here another column here called expected. And that would be the expected number of values or Canadians that we would have out of the 5,000 for each category. So in this case then, we'll take 46% and we'll multiply that by 5,000. So we should expect to see 2,300 Canadians of type O blood. Let's copy that down, and you can see that what the expected values are. I'm just going to add a couple of columns here to move these out of the way. Good. Now I can put in the actual, and I can use these numbers from down here, copy those, and just paste them over here. So we can compare these, take the difference between these two, and divide through by the expected, and that will give you a percentage difference. And that's the end of the tutorial.